once swapped places with death row brother will watch him die next week. A twin who once swapped places with his murderer brother on death row will finally watch him die next week in Nebraska's first ever lethal injection execution, 39 years after he was sentenced. Carrie Dean Moore, 60, is scheduled to die at 10 a.m. on August 14 at the Nebraska State Penitentiary. It will be the first execution in the state since 1997 and the first time a prisoner has been killed via lethal injection instead of the electric chair. In 1979, Moore shot and killed Reuel Van Ness and Maynard Hell Jayland, two cab drivers, a few days apart in Omaha, Nebraska. At the time, his twin brother David was incarcerated in Washington on separate charges, but 5 years later, they found themselves in the same prison in Lincoln where David was serving 4 to 6 years on a burglary charge. Desperate to give his twin a chance at freedom, they swapped places in 1984 with David taking Carrie's place on death row, and David going to general population. Their plan for Carrie to escape was thwarted when a supervisor noticed the switch hours later as he pretended to be David while working in the prison kitchen. The twins were 26 at the time. Since then, Carrie's execution has been delayed by repeated stays and controversies over Nebraska's use of capital punishment. In July, his execution date was finally set for August 14, weeks before the state's supply of the drug that will be used to kill him expires. David will be there to watch him die. Though he says it will be difficult, both he and his twin want the legal to and fro to come to an end. He would just like to die. There's got to be a time to say stop. I just hope they finally do it, stop messing around and pull the switch, give him a couple of shots or whatever. Do it instead of talking and talking about it, David told the Journal-Star this week. He added, "It will not be easy, but Dean wants me there, so I have little choice. Sometimes none of us have a choice in things. Swing with the punches and come up kicking." He did not reveal whether their younger brother Donald, who was with Dean when he carried out the murders and was freed on probation 10 years ago after spending almost 29 years behind bars on second-degree murder charges, will attend. Neither Carrie nor David wants the state to block his execution. The latter has given up all of his appeals and he has advised his court-appointed lawyer not to take action to try to spare his life. The lawyer, tormented over the decision, asked to be let go from the case last week. He says he is conflicted between following his client's instructions and doing what he thinks is right. Doing nothing in a death penalty case is not competent legal representation, the lawyer, Jeff Pickens, said in a court filing. The ACLU has also offered to fight on Moore's behalf, but he does not want the objections. Neither Moore nor one of his victims' sons believes that the state will actually go through with his execution. Since he was convicted, he has been given 7 execution dates which have all been set back by delays out of his control. They include lawsuits against Nebraska by anti-capital punishment groups demanding to know who the supplier of their lethal injections drugs are. Older obstacles include outlawing the electric chair and questions over whether Moore's crimes warranted capital punishment in the first place. It was abolished in 2015 and then reinstated the following year after an overwhelming public vote to veto lawmakers' decision. There are 11 death row prisoners in Nebraska and all are murderers. No other executions have been scheduled for 2018.